What is going on YouTube is Psycho. I am back with another video, and I'm going to be talking about my attempt to revisit SAO. So so I was in a Discord call with a couple of my friends, and like we were just going through our catalog, just picking stuff to watch. We were just fucking bored that day, dude. Like we didn't know what the fuck we wanted to do that day. We didn't know what the fuck we wanted to watch, and we're like, you know what? Let's go back to like what was it, 2011, 2013 or some shit. This was like the pioneer of like all that isekai shit that we see nowadays, right? Just the idea of going into like a game like Sword Art Online and being stuck in it. Like it's a bit of a nightmare, but it could also be pretty cool. You know, it's a cool premise, and it was something that was just kind of like unexplored at the time. Like, to be honest, my first introduction into something like that was fucking Spy Kids 3, and that was a cool ass movie. So I'm seeing people talk about SAO when it's coming out, and it was the only social media that I had was like Instagram, and I was kind of on YouTube a little bit, so everybody was talking about it. It was pretty cool to see, and so I picked up the anime, and I fucking loved that shit, right? And I guess some point along the line, like YouTubers started calling the show bad, and I'm like, damn, like, do I think it's bad too? It came at a time where I was just getting into anime. I didn't know what a good anime was. I wasn't exposed to a lot of good shit at the time, right? So I'm thinking that, okay, it can't get any better than this. The animation's great, the music's great, the characters are great, everything's so fucking cool. It was like it's like if you're getting to fucking solo leveling right now, right? And you're thinking it's the best thing ever because it's the only thing that you've ever seen. You're not exposed to other great anime like Death Note, like Monster, like Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that. So you see something like Sword Art Online, like Sword Art, like solo leveling, you're like, holy shit, like this is peak, bro. This is fucking peak. And it turns out it's so fucking mid. When I initially watched SAO, I only went as far as I think it was like the second season. I can't. I don't know how they kind of. I don't know how they structured that. If it was like one season or like two seasons. All I know is that I reached to like to towards the end of like episode 25 and shit like that. And then, it started to get a bit ridiculous towards the end. But even then, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Now later on, I started to learn what good writing was, and it didn't make me like hate SAO, but it made me realize just how good it was, and here's the thing: when it comes to like my enjoyment in things, like I don't really care if it's good or not. Like, for example, right, Dragon Ball doesn't have the best story, but I still thoroughly enjoy it, and a lot of other people thoroughly enjoy it. I don't think fucking Fairy Tail has the best story, but that's one of my guilty pleasures when it comes to anime. It's like the fucking Fast and Furious of anime, in my opinion. When it comes to SAO, it's just kind of like, it's just kind of whatever. It's very. The only reason why I even remember is because of how popular it is, right? But there is some aspects that I do hate about it. Like, for example, Kirito. Kirito is everything I hate about nerds. Like people try to emulate what they see from anime sometimes, and I kind of experienced this while I was in college. I was in a couple clubs, back in my day, right? And some of these kids, in these clubs would try to emulate their favorite anime character, like Yagami, Lelouch, and sometimes Kirito, where from your perspective, right, you're gonna see yourself as the main character in your own life, in your own story, and that's perfectly fine. But the thing is, it to mitigate other people around you, to kind of see them as lesser than you, it starts to delve into narcissism. Yeah, like it kind of like boosts your ego a little bit, and it gives you a twisted sense of reality. you know and we had this fucking kid in my club, and he was just kind of like that. He kind of embodied that, right? Fortunately for us, he didn't fucking stink, but he was just kind of annoying to be around. He was that kind of glasses pushing, guy that would just kind of remind you of like random facts about anime, and just random facts about anything. He was so annoying. Oh my god, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but there was this one time, dude. This fucking guy. So we used to go we used to go to fucking to restaurants a lot, right? And this guy, like, we didn't want this guy to come, but we kind of just brought him along because he was just coming along with us, and some people in the group was cool with him when we weren't. And towards the end, right, he all of a sudden mentions that he doesn't have any money. So me and my friend group, we usually split it down the middle. Like, we split it evenly after we're done eating, and then once we're done eating some good ass Korean fried chicken, bro, it was so fucking good. All those wonderful taste buds, like all those good brain chemicals going off of my brain were destroyed in an instant when this motherfucker looked at me and looked at the rest of us and said that he didn't have any fucking money. And this motherfucker looks at me and then says, "Hey, you got me, Zol? You got me? You got me, Zol?" That man's life almost ended that day. That man's life almost ended that fucking day. So when I see nerds like that, and when I go back and watch Sao now, I'm kind of reminded about meeting people like that, and it makes me hate Kirito even more. That scene where they're like pretty much exposing him for what he is, like a beta tester, a beater. You're a beater.
So you guys think I used to be a beta tester? It's not cool to put me in the same class with those noobs. What'd you say? You heard me. Most of the 1,000 people who scored a slot in SAO's beta were rookies. They were so green, they didn't even know how to level up. Hell, even you guys are better than they were.
When they're exposing him for what he is, he's like, "Yes, you're right. I am a beta tester, and I am better than all of you. You guys are all noobs, and I'm gonna go off and get this cool code and like it was so fucking, it was so cringe, like hearing him talk. He has such a nasally voice like this, and like when he talks, it's like I can't fucking stand the guy. We had some people in my Discord where it was like, oh, the SAO bridge is like so much better than this. It's so much better written. And I usually kind of write stuff like that off. Like, when it comes to a bridge series, like, I usually kind of write those series off because I like appreciating the original source material, and when it comes to a bridge, it's kind of easy to write it better than the original source material because you already have it to work off of, right? But then I watch SAO Bridge, and I'm like, holy shit, they actually made Kirito a fucking loser. Like he talks about how good he is at the game. He talks about how skillful he is, and people point out to him that, like, oh, so you're just kind of a loser in real life then. Like, you kind of just no life this game, right? And it kind of reminded me of so I've been in a lot of gaming communities, right? And one big one that I used to be a part of is like the fighting game community, right? And this is a genre where you have to dedicate a lot of time into being at least proficient at it, to be at least like intermediate level, right? And we got a lot of fucking Kiritos in the FGC, right? Who will kind of they kind of have this sense of elitism. If you're struggling, if you're like, let's say you're taking your frustrations out in the game, right? They usually boil it down to you being a noob. They boil it down to you just needing to get good at the game. And getting good at the game, it requires so much fucking time out of your fucking day. If you have a full-time job, right, it's just kind of difficult. And a lot of people say like, oh, having a full-time job isn't no fucking excuse. Well, for me, let's just use me as an example. So when Guilty Gear came out, I was working at fucking Jewel Oscar, right? Full time. I was part time, but they had me working full time because they needed the people to work full time, and they didn't want to give them the benefits of working full time. And I was one of those guys. So I was working full time at Jewel Osco. Guilty Gear Strive comes out, and that's a game where you have to really dedicate a lot of time into putting in. You have to dedicate a lot of time into learning combos, into learning matchups, into learning just how the fucking game works, right? And you got a lot of these Kiritos telling you that you need to fucking like dedicate your whole time to the game in order to even have fun, and I didn't fucking like that. So where the fuck am I going with this? SAO reminds me of how much I don't like nerds. At least like a certain genre of nerds, right? I have a lot of you guys on my channel, right? And I call you guys nerds all the time. I'm a fucking nerd. Just scroll through my fucking channel. Like, I just take the time to scroll through my fucking channel. I have a lot of nerd shit on here, right? And I have a lot of Kiritos watching my shit. I even baited them in some of my YouTube videos. It's and I guess it really goes to show probably why I don't like Kirito that much is because probably how he's not like super real of a character. There's people that try to be like him, but there isn't anyone that actually is him, if that makes sense, right? So Kirito doesn't really make a lot of effort to make people like him, right? If honestly, if Kirito was in real life, a lot of people wouldn't really fuck with him, kind of like how he is in the abridged version. But I do appreciate Kirito existing. I do appreciate Sao for existing because then it kind of laid the groundwork for newer and better isekai to come out like during the last decade that just passed, right? We got fucking I'm gonna talk about it in probably my next video, Mushoku Tensei. There's a lot of good and bad with that anime that I'm going to talk about. There's fucking Konosuba, like probably one of the funniest things I've ever fucking seen. ReZero, one of the best stories I've ever seen. Like I fucking love that. It's off the tip of my fucking tongue. Overlord, right? We got so many other great isekai nowadays. It's because of Sao why like that was able to happen, right? So that was my experience watching Sao. We didn't even make it past the like 5 fucking episodes, dude. Oh, but yeah, I just want to get on the mic and fucking rant a bit. I'm trying to make more of these kinds of videos where I just kind of hop on the mic and start talking. Trying to get more used to it. Let me know what you guys think about the comment section below and what you think about Sword Art Online, and if you even fuck with Sao, and what's your opinion on isekai in general? Even if you just want to call me a fucking idiot, go ahead and do that in the comment section below, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.